Biar as the Deputy Prime Minister for the closing government, we have Givari as the member of government and Minchi as the whip of government. And on the right side, we have opening opposition. We have Faiza as the leader of opposition, Ningla as the deputy leader of opposition, Linggar as the member of opposition, and Sasin as the whip of opposition. So let me tell you about our motion. So our motion is this house support banning TikTok shop and similar platform to in the interest of support. Our motion is this house supports banning TikTok shop and similar platform in the interest of protecting local MSMEs. So let's start our debate. And I will call the first speaker of the opening government for Muzaki as the Prime Minister. You have 7 minutes and time is yours.
Alright, thank you for the moderator and also my partner here who always support me and help me a lot. Alright, this argument will start in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, in today's era, the appearance of TikTok Shop and other similar platforms damage a lot of MSMEs. And I remain strongly supportive of this motion. One of our greatest concerns right now is the financial viability of domestic MSMEs, which form the backbone of our national economy. According to statistics provided by Indonesia's Ministry of Cooperatives and Small and Medium Enterprises, over 60% of the GDP and over 97% of national workforce are being taken up by MSMEs. So their existence is important, and the existence of TikTok shop would damage them a lot because the competition is not fair. But in these times, their viability is being threatened by social commerce, things like TikTok shop, Shopee, and Tokopedia. These platforms create unfair competition, like I said before, as they allow large sellers, typically sellers of inexpensive imported products, and mostly from China, to control the market. Because they have typical of the price itself is not high compared to MSMEs, so the consumer have a lot of attention and choose TikTok shop as their main platform to buy something. This sell at a loss program and preferential algorithms renders the small local sellers unable to survive and thrive. These MSMEs do not possess the digital infrastructure. They don't have enough facility to progress and improve their market or the store. Advertisement spending and visibility like the large sellers. Small warrooms, local fashion boutiques, and home industries get denied living in the process. It bears nothing. Also, that the in-app system of TikTok Shop avoids traditional consumers, protection, and tax policy. So the government didn't really get the tax as should be. This works to the disadvantage of domestic vendors as much as national economics sovereignty in the degrees of untaxed cross-border commerce. Left untaxed and unregulated, we risk creating a digital monopoly, closing out small businesses. A few countries have already done so. The Indonesian government even temporarily banned TikTok shop in 2023, with Ministry of Trade Regulation number 31/2023 based on necessity to distant e-commerce. and social media in a bid to protect local businesses. This serves is show there is precedence and real concern being brought to be able for this issue. To put in this perspective, by banning TikTok Shop and the likes like Shop and Tokopedia, we aren't shutting down innovation. Rather, we are safeguarding economic justice and fair competition and the viability of our small of local businesses. Let's remember, development must never come at the cost of the weak. This all for me, that's Prime Minister.
Thank you so much, Muzaki, for your argument. Next, I will call the first speaker of the opening opposition. For Faizaz, the leader of opposition, you have 7 minutes. Miss.
Good day, honorable adjudicators and fellow members of this House. As the leader of the opposition, I firmly against this motion. So, while we agree with the government of the local MSMEs are vital to our economy, banning TikTok shop is not a solution. It's a mistake that will hurt the very businessmen we're trying to protect. So, let me begin by responding to several key points made by the Prime Minister. First, the Prime Minister argued that TikTok shop threatens the viability of MSMEs, but this is not entirely true. In fact, TikTok shop has become a lifeline for many local sellers. Thousands of small business owners, especially young single mothers and home industries, have used TikTok to build their customer base, often with zero market cost. So, TikTok shop provides free exposure, real-time interaction, and access to a digital market they could never afford otherwise. Second, the government mentioned unfair competition in the influx of cheap foreign products. We don't deny this issue, but the solution is not a ban. The solution is regulation. Enforce proper import taxes, apply platform transparency laws just like we do for Shopee, Tokopedia, and Lazada. Banning an entire platform because of certain challenges is like shutting down a mall because some stores are called imported goods. And third is the Prime Minister brought up the issue of algorithm bias and MSME's lack of digital skills. Again, we acknowledge this here, but the real solution is education. The government should invest in digital literacy program instead of and offer training and workshop to the MSMEs and help them adapt, not to remove the tools entirely. We don't throw away a phone because we got a small scam. We learn how to use it better. The fourth is on the issue of customer protection and taxation. These are legitimate concerns, but again, the issue lies with policy enforcement, not the platform itself. So it is fully within the government's power to implement tax collection mechanism to ensure sellers' accountability, even on foreign app like TikTok. TikTok has already shown willingness to cooperate after the 2023 temporary ban. Lastly, they mentioned national sovereignty, but true sovereignty is not hiding behind digital walls. It's building resilient, adaptable, and competitive local business who can thrive anywhere, even online. So let me now present the opposition case. First, TikTok Shop empowers local MSMEs, especially young and women. TikTok Shop has opened doors for those who could not afford or afford to rent a store or run ads. A viral video can turn a home-based hijab seller into a successful entrepreneur. For many Indonesians, a TikTok shop is not a threat; it's a change. Banning it means closing off opportunities for the next generation of digital entrepreneurs. The real problem is poor digital infrastructure, not the platform. Local MSMEs struggle not because TikTok exists, but because they are not supported enough to compete digitally. Banning platform avoids the real issue. We haven't invested enough in digital education. We should be given grants, training, and e-commerce support, not removing tools MSMEs are learning to use. Banning sets a dangerous precedence. If you ban TikTok Shop today, what about Shopee Live tomorrow or YouTube Short next week? We're telling investors and innovators that Indonesian bans first and regulates later. That's not good for trust, and it isolates our economy from digital progress. We cannot let fear of change hold back the development of our local seller. So to conclude, honorable educators and the member of the House, we in the opposition agree that MSMEs must be protected, but banning TikTok shop is a drastic and damaging move. It removes opportunities, punishes progress, and avoids the real solution. We should regulate, not eliminate. We should empower MSMEs, not shelter them. Therefore, we strongly oppose the motion. Thank you.
So that is the first argument from the opening of side team. Thank you so much, Faiza, for your argument. Next, I will call the second speaker from the opening government for the deputy of Prime Minister. We have 7 minutes. Time is yours.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable educators, I stand before you as the Deputy Prime Minister, who is supporting today's motion that this House support banning TikTok Shop and similar platform in the interest of protecting local MSMEs. So, let me start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Why I stand and support the motion because MSMEs are the backbone of Indonesian economy, contributing over 60% of our gross domestic product and creating 97% of jobs. Today, the face of serious is not from innovation, but from an unfair digital system dominated by platforms like TikTok Shop. Okay, from the opposite opening says the TikTok Shop helps MSMEs grow. In reality, only a few success just with digital skills and capital. Most MSMEs are left behind, worried by the algorithm. And second topic is a very limited consumer choice. That's a false freedom. TikTok Shop algorithm decides what we see, not genuine choice. It prefers profit, not fairness. And the last argument is regulate, don't fear. We've tried to regulate TikTok Shop by passed tax laws and consumer protection. If a platform repeatedly break the rules, banning becomes necessary. Uh, I stand here to strongly my my prime minister. Uh, a deeply unfair and this market. Chips should import big vendors and paid at the money. Local business have no visibility, no access, and no real opportunity. And consumers are harmed too, because especially the lower middle class, the apps use manipulative tactics like flash sale and live shopping to drive impulsive spending and dangerous pressure. If we don't act now, we send a message, break our rules, and get away with it. This threatens our digital and economy justice. Okay, the problem is the platform, not just policy. Policy. This is not just a policy failure, but a platform design flaw. TikTok Shop blurs the line between entertainment, advertising, and that it's fair. We want MSPs to be protected, not burned. We want the government that life is small, that life is small, not just strong. That is why we are the government that strongly support benefit of shop, not because we are anti-progress, but because we are pro-justice, pro-MSMEs, and pro-innovation. Take it from there.
Okay, thanks, Dia, for your opinion. Next, I'll call the second speaker from the opening opposition. From the opening opposition, for Nila as the deputy of leader of opposition. You have 7 minutes. Time is.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, members of the House, TikTok Shop is not a threat. It's a gateway to economic participation, especially for young women and micro entrepreneurs. The real issue lies not into the platform itself, but in how we regulate and support our MSMEs in adapting to it. In this speech, I will first rebut the false claims brought by the Deputy Prime Minister and then extend the opposition's case with new constructive analysis. Let me first address the government's claim that only MSMEs with capital and digital benefit. That's simply flat false. Many small sellers without marketing backgrounds have built successful business through TikTok shop using only a phone, creativity, and consistency. The platform lowers barriers to entry, no need for a physical store, stock wheels, or costly ads. What they need is support, digital training and inclusion, not exclusion. The second major claim the government is that TikTok Shop is killing local MSME. This is a misleading generalization. Not all MSMEs are victims. In fact, thousands of them thrive because of TikTok Shop. A 2024 survey by the Kata Data Insight Center found that over 78% of small sellers on TikTok Shop experience income growth after joining the platform. In Indonesia alone, over 6 million shop experience income growth after joining this platform. And then this is before the partial ban in 2023. The success stories are a real example from Rara Beauty and Daporma, local brands that exploded in popularity thanks to viral content, reaching audience they could never afford to reach via conventional retail method. If some MSMEs are being left behind, the solution is not to ban the platforms, it's to educate and include them. The government's digital MSME program in 2024 already trained over 1,000 sellers to succeed on platforms like TikTok Shop and Shopee. According to official data, 60% of MSMEs in major cities now earn a large portion of their revenue online, many seeing 40 until 70% sales growth on TikTok Shop alone. TikTok Shop is not just about big brands. It empowers students selling snacks from their dorms, mothers selling hijab from home, ordinary people with limited capital who finally have access to a national market. In fact, over 60% of TikTok Shop sellers in 2023 were women and youth, according to data from C Group and TikTok Indonesia. So, what is the real issue? It's not a TikTok Shop, it's a policy failure. Banning the platform doesn't solve the problem. We should be building a digital roadmap, not burning bridges to innovation. Moreover, this ban sets a dangerous precedent. Today is TikTok Shop. What will be next? Shopee, Tokopedia, or WhatsApp business? Every digital platform can be framed as a threat. If we keep responding to disruption with bans, we create an unstable regulatory environment that discourages innovation and scares of investors. Following initial partial ban in 2023, some foreign digital investors paused funding, citing regulatory uncertainty as a major concern. This not only affects platforms, it affects the MSMEs that rely on them. It sends a chilling message: stay offline, stay small, or risk having your livelihood dismantled by a sudden policy shift. And in conclusion, like the leader of opposition mentioned before, if we truly care about the MSMEs, we must empower, we must regulate, we must adapt, not retreat. TikTok Shop and similar platforms are not enemies. They are opportunities, and when we manage well, they can be the very tools that help MSMEs rise and thrive in the digital age. For all these reasons, we strongly oppose the motion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nila. That's a really good argument speech. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next I will call the first speaker of the opposing government. For Gifari as the member of government, you have 7 minutes. Time is yours.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, honorable chair, juries, and members of the House, the opposition argues that TikTok Shop empowers entrepreneurs with easy access to the markets, boost income for small sellers, and open digital opportunity for all. Now, we respect these points, but we must look at the larger picture, at the risk of our MSEs face. Today, we as the government stand together to protect our local MSEs. We back the ban on TikTok Shop and similar app because they harm, because they didn't help, and to protect our small businesses. The first point I would like to bring up is small sellers succeed with creativity. This point is rare and not true for most entrepreneurs. Some stories of success look inspiring, sure, but they are the exception now. Most small businesses do not get that chance. According to INDEF in 2023, most MSEs lack the digital tools and know how to stand out on TikTok. They cannot reach enough viewers or pay for ads, for markets. Oh, thanks. TikToks give the best visibility to those with big followings or deep pocket. It is not a fair market. It is a popularity contest that rewards fame over quality. This is outrageous and not very fair. We cannot fix this with training alone. There's coming for it reports that 80% of MSEs still lack basic digital readiness. Offering courses, sure, they can offer a course to help these small businesses, but it will not change the fact that this platform favors influencers and big spenders instead of small entrepreneurship or small ownership. The second point I would like to bring up is that TikTok Shop boosts income. Alright, sure, but this is selective and only in short term. Kadadata survey of 2024 shows some sellers saw higher income, yet this view leaves out the full impact. It ignores a couple few points. First is predatory pricing. Now, because it is cheap import that flood the market and force local sellers out to cut the price below livable level. Because the market is saturated with low quality cheap product. Now this leaves the small businesses that earn a honest living to be left out and to leave out their high honest earning. And then the third point I would like to bring up that it is a policy failure, not a platform failure. Now, the opposition says that weak rules, not TikTok, that cause this harm. We as the government disagree. Platforms that make social media with commerce must follow our laws from the start. Now, TikTok Shop pushes these points ahead without clear respect for trade industry regulation number 33 in 2023. Now, that rule already exists to protect consumer data, to protect our MSEs, to ensure a fair trade, and to keep our small business safe. These platforms, honestly, in their own opinion, outright this rule. They outright this law. There's already a law written about this, and they just ignore it without any consequences. Now, after the 2023 partial ban, many sellers moved to local marketplace like Tokopedia and Shopee. But the Indonesian E-commerce Association notice this shift and help restore the balance. But here, the sellers compete on price, quality, and service. Not on who has the flashiest video or the biggest marketing budget or who is the front page on Shopee. Now we must build on that success. We must build a clear digital roadmap to co-create with our MSEs. We have to guide them on investment on infrastructure, and we must train them. We must offer a fair and platform design. We must help these MSAs because we are those that on the lower side of our country. Now, this debate is not driven by fear of challenge. It is driven by our duty to defend the backbone of our economy, our small and medium businesses. TikTok should that also TikTok shop may offer a quick wins to a few, but it brings a deep risk to many. We need a local empowerment. We need local government, not just foreign control from outside of this country. We need rules. We need a fair rules, not endless poverty races. That's all from my thoughts.
Thank you so much, Gifari, for another great argument speech. Next, I will call the first speaker from the closing of the side team, which is Lingard. You have 7 minutes and the time is yours.
So now, good day, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable dear together and fellow members of this house. I'm the first speaker of the closing opposition, and we proudly stand against the motion that supports banning TikTok Shop and similar platform in the interest of protecting local MSMEs. Yep. We oppose the motion because we argue that banning these platforms is detrimental to consumers, hinders economic growth, and fails to address the root causes of MSMEs challenges. The first one is limit consumer choice and welfare. Many platforms like TikTok Shop would severely restrict consumer choice and economic welfare. They offer unparalleled product in variety, like often global, competitive prices, and immense convenience, democratic commerce and many sellers and buyers. Removing them directly undermines consumer priorities and reverses the positive impact of e-commerce growth. The second one is suffocates innovation and digital economic growth. Banning these platforms stimulates digital innovation and economic growth. E-commerce drive new business models, digital skills, and job creation. While interaction and friends tech like AI-driven commerce, many local MSMEs introduction successfully leverage this platform for wider reach, such as a ban removes this opportunity and hinders the overall growth of the digital economy and in regions like Southeast Asia. And an effective solution for MSME challenges like a ban is an ineffective and blunt solution that ignores local MSMEs real challenges like capital, digital literacy, and supply chains. If one reverse consumer online shopping habits, only push transaction to less regulated or informal challenges, making oversight harder. Empowering MSMEs to adapt is a far more constructive approach. And our rebuttal to this claim that lack of regulatory control and data security control that is regulatory issues and security are valid concerns, but a complete ban is an overreaching and a blunt instrument. The solution is a regulation, not a prohibition. Government can and should work to implement stricter regulation on the data privacy, consumer protection, intellectual property, and tax to compliance for all online platforms, domestic and foreign. Many platforms due to regulatory challenges implies a failure and a government not an inherent flaw in the platform model itself. Furthermore, banning might push transactions to less regulated informal changes where oversight is even harder. And instead of banning this government should empower local MSMEs to go digital. Many MSMEs struggle due to lack of digital skills, marketing know-how, and efficient logistics not solely because of platforms like TikTok Shop, but investing in training, digital tools, financial aid for e-commerce, and expanding their reach and efficiency. This approach has already shown success for Indonesian MSMEs leveraging digital platform and aligns with initiatives like Bank Pembuatan Indonesia or in English we say properly made in Indonesia that encourage digitalization. And our last speaker will also review the proposition argument by showing new perspectives like consumer welfare, digital growth and innovation, long-term empowerment. In short, the closing opposition believes that TikTok Shop and similar platform is not the problem. They are not enemies and it is an opportunities and when managed wisely, they can be the very that help to MSMEs rise and thrive. So yeah, I would say that we are proud to oppose the motion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linga. That's a really good opinion. So next, I will call the second speaker from the closing government team for Nichi. Time is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, respected judges and my teammate, also my fellow debaters, as the government whip, my job today is to wrap up our case, show you why the opposition argument don't hold up, and make it clear why banning TikTok Shop and similar platform is the right move to protect our local MSMEs or micro, small, medium enterprises. Let me bring up 3 points against. First, TikTok Shop help MSMEs grow. I think this is not full story. The opposition say TikTok Shop is a great place for MSMEs to grow. But let's be honest, only small number of sellers are those who already have digital skill, money, or influencer plans, and it actually benefits. Most small business like warung and home industries get left behind because they can't compete with big vendors and get tricky algorithms that decide who gets in. Second, just regulate John Ben. This is easier said than done. They suggest we should just make stricter rules instead of banning. But we've tried that. TikTok Shop found ways to avoid those rules, mixing entertainment and shopping so much, and it's almost impossible to control. That's why the government had to ban it in the first place. Third, banning hurts customer and investment. It's not real. Oppositions worry about fewer choices for buyers and scaring off investors. But what's the point of choices if the platform only show you what makes them money, not what the best for your local seller? And protecting our economy and small business is more important than letting foreign platforms take over. Next, I'm going to strengthening the government cases. First, MSMEs are the backbone of our economy. Over 60% of Indonesian GDP, gross domestic product, and almost all jobs come from MSMEs. If we let TikTok Shop and similar platforms run wild, local business will lose out to cheap imported goods and unfair competition. This is not help growth and it's just making things harder for our people. Second, banning is about giving MSMEs a fair change. We're not against technology or progress. We just want to give our MSMEs fighting chain to catch up, get better at digital business and compete fairly. Many other countries have done the same because they see the risk too. Third, it's about long-term justice, not just a quick fix. This is then is not just about short-term solutions. It's about making sure our local business can survive and grow in the long term, not just today. Why the government side things? First, we show the real problem is unfair competition and system that hurt small business, not just a lack of digital trade. Second, regulation alone doesn't work only a bit, can protect our MSMEs right now. And last, our vision is a fair and strong digital economy, where local business aren't pushed out by big foreign platforms. To wrap up, the government team has clearly shown that banning TikTok Shop and similar platforms is necessary to protect our local MSMEs and our economy. We answered every point from opposition and show why our side is one that truly cares about Indonesia's future. Let's make sure progress doesn't leave our small business behind, and this ban is about protecting what's matter to our people and our future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lichi. Next, I will call the second speaker from the closing opposition side. For Sasin, you have 7 minutes. Time is yours.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, honorable the legislature and fellow members of as the main speaker of the closing opposition, my role today is to summarize this debate, highlight why the government case is flawed, and show why the opposition, particularly on this reason, a more practical forward-looking solution. So let's break down what the government told us. The first they say that MSMEs are dying because of Microsoft generation. While some MSMEs do struggle, banning the platform is not a sustainable answer. In fact, 78% of small sellers report increased income through Microsoft based on Kata Data Insight Center 2024. This issue is not the platform its unique access, which can be tapped with training and support, not them. So the second they say regulation doesn't work, it has not been properly enforced. The government argue that regulation failed, but this reflects a failure of governments, not of the digital model itself. If regulation is hard, we improve the system, not give up and shut it down. And the last, they claim TikTok Shop endangers economic sovereignty. Overstep. Foreign platform can be controlled through data laws, taxation, and partnership. Banning sent a signal of instability to investors, which hurt MSMEs more in the long term. So we brought in the critical new perspective. The first is customer welfare. Many platforms like TikTok limit product variety, accessibility, and affordability, especially for lower and middle income groups. And the next is digital growth and innovation. The platform requires technological advancement. MSMEs can grow with support, not shut down. And TikTok Shop is not the enemy, lack of support is. And the last is long-term empowerment. The ban does not solve the root problem: capital access, digital literacy, and infrastructure. Instead of getting the tool, teach people how to use it better. That's real economic justice. So, at the end of this debate, opposition win for 3 clear reasons. The first, we offer practical data-backed solution, training, better regulation, The next, we acknowledge real problem, but show that banning is a blunt and damaging response. The last, we champion a balanced path forward where local business and consumer can both thrive in the digital era. So this debate is not about choosing between MSMEs and progress. It's about how we help MSMEs embrace progress. The government wants to protect MSMEs by shutting a door. We, the opposition, choose to open more doors to education, support, and innovation. So let's not fight the future. Let's set it together. Thank you.
Okay, that is the conclusion from the closing upside team. Thank you so much, Hasin. So here I am as the moderator will give the conclusion. So first of all, thank you so much for all the speakers for sharing your ideas today. In this debate, we talked about whether TikTok Shop and similar platforms should be banned to protect small local businesses, also known as MSMEs. The government's side said that TikTok Shop is hurting local sellers. They believe that big companies and cheap foreign products make it hard for small businesses to survive. They think banning these platforms is the best way to protect our local economy. The opposition team disagreed. They said that many small sellers actually grow their business using TikTok Shop. Instead of banning, they believe the government should help MSMEs with support so they can do well online too. Both teams gave really good arguments. The government focused on protection and the opposition focused on support and progress. And with that, the debate has concluded. Next, we are going to hear the feedback from the educators. So, time is yours.
So now the feedback for both teams. The debate went well, with both teams presenting strong arguments. The government successfully highlighted the threats TikTok Shop poses by MSMEs, such as unfair competition and consumer manipulation. However, their proposed solution stopped at the ban, without a clear explanation of how this would resolve the issues faced by MSMEs. On the other hand, the opposition appeared more consistent by offering concrete solutions such as regulation, digital training, and strong data from scattered data. The opposition also effectively demonstrated the impact of ban on consumer investment in Indonesia's digital future. And I think that's all for the feedback. Okay, after considering all aspects from the three educators, we agreed that the winner of this debate is opening opposition, which is Nila and Faizal. The win was given because the opposition was able to present a consistent data-driven case and offer real solution to the problem of MSES. And the reasons why is the team government loss is because they failed to prove that banning TikTok Shop is the best solution. The government did manage to point out the threat to MSES, but failed to explain in detail how the ban will bring about long-term positive change. In addition, the argument that regulation can be done lacks strong evidence. Meanwhile, the opposition was about to prove that the problem lies with the police, not the platform, and they offered a more constructive solution. So, congratulations to the opposition team.
Okay, the next educators will announce the best speaker.
Okay, so for the best speaker, after careful deliberation and scoring across matter, manner, and method, we are proud to announce that the best speaker of this debate round is Nila from Deputy Leader of the Opposition. The reason why she became a best speaker because she delivered strong, clear rebuttals with solid data and smooth style. Thank you.